Some of you might know me as Kyle on here from the other videos. You might find me on YouTube and Instagram under Mac Moto Motions. I'm here with my brother Connor.
G'day, how you going?
Say hello.
How are you?
So Connor is learning how to ride. After seeing myself and my mum do it for a while, he got the bug and wanted to jump on and give it a go. So he doesn't really know what he's doing, and we're here to show you how to do it. Whenever you're learning how to ride a motorcycle, there's obviously 5 steps. Step 1, which we're going to go through now, is clutch control. Step 2 is braking, so you've got front and rear brakes. Okay, they're on the right hand side of the bike. Then you have balance. Obviously, you know, you've ridden a push bike before. If you lean too far on one side, you're going to fall off. Step 4, throttle control. Being able to release the clutch and let the throttle out at the same time can be tricky. It's like driving a manual in a car. You know, you've got your feet to do it, now you have your hands. And step 5 is technique. Okay, being able to ride safely, assess the dangers ahead, ride like everyone's trying to kill you. Okay, part of that technique of riding safely as well is owning the lane that you're riding in, but also not going too far to the right of that when you've got oncoming. Because if I'm driving a car and I'm on my phone because I'm doing the wrong thing and I start veering over to your lane, if you're in the right hand side of it, I'll hit you. And we don't want that.
No, we don't.
No. So, you're on the 250 today, the ST250, the bike that I started on. This is its big brother, the 400, that's just come in. Nice and new.
It is nice and new.
Yep. All right, so what I might get you to do is jump on the ST250. All right, clutch. Where is it?
Left hand side.
You were told about the friction point earlier?
Yes, where the bike pretty much starts to roll on its by itself.
Yeah.
Without stalling.
So for this ST, I felt like it was pretty close to being held all the way in, right? Like only a couple of centimeters.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, all bikes are different. All clutches are going to be different. Some might have a really loose friction point where you get to like, you know, almost out. Ignition's on.
Yep.
Always start the bike with the lights off and clutch in. Because even if you start it in neutral, you might have what's called a false neutral. So it'll light up and say that it's in neutral, but then you'll jolt forward. You'll be like, what the hell? All right, you got your clutch in, starter button. There you go. Find the friction point, which is about there. Okay, and just slowly walk the bike, roll it back and forwards and get used to that friction zone. Friction point. Yep, so if you let it out too far, you won't jolt while you're doing that, but you'll stall. Let the clutch out, but give it a little bit of throttle so you can take your feet off and safely move forward up to that stick there. So throttle, let it out. Yeah, put your feet up. And clutch in. Brake. Woo! Rev, rev, rev. Go, go, go. That's it, feet up. Clutch in as you're turning. Don't forget to brake. Success. Well done. So you got front brake on the top here, on the right. So where would the rear brake be?
The rear brake would be on this side here, on your foot.
Okay, and if you're coming to a stop, most of the time you can use both. Typically what I like to do is use my rear brake so I'm not relying too heavily on the front, because I don't want to lock up that front wheel. But then I also don't want to lock up the back wheel by pushing too hard. So you should be able to use them both simultaneously while having the clutch in. What I'll get you to do is the same thing again. Let the clutch out, give it a bit of throttle, and when you go to use the front brake, make sure you have the clutch in. Anytime you brake, clutch in. Rear brake, clutch in. Front brake, clutch in.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So, same scenario. Get up to where that ciggy butt is, and I want you to stop with your rear tyre on that ciggy butt. So you're going to let go of the clutch, give it a bit of throttle, and slowly use the front brake. Mm-hmm. Make sure your clutch is in.
Yeah.
Yep. Bit more throttle. Yep. That's it. Front brake, clutch in. Oh, he's bang on. All right, this time, same thing, except use your rear brake. So you'll have to get your feet up pretty much as soon as you take off. Okay. So your clutch comes out, throttle, feet up, use your rear brake. And because you'll be using your rear brake, you can put your left foot down when you put your clutch in to stabilize yourself. Okay? Which one do you think was easier?
The front brake
Front brake.
probably easier.
Yeah.
Just because obviously to use the rear brake, your feet have to come up almost immediately.
Yeah.
And because it's not a natural thing for me right now, I still feel a bit off balance.
Yeah.
But that'll just come with time, and obviously practice makes perfect.
All right, so step one, we've got clutch control. Okay. Just sort of touch base on that. Step two was being able to use the brakes, front and rear. Okay, they're always going to be on the right hand side. Okay, step three was balance, okay, which you showed pretty well. You need to be able to obviously take your feet off, but then plant them back down when you come to a safe stop and, you know, not move the bike around too much. Step four was throttle, safely being able to find that friction point, taking off with the throttle. You don't want to have too much because then you end up going somewhere you don't want to. Step five we went through was technique, you know, riding safely, assessing traffic ahead, riding like everyone's trying to kill you, being able to stay in the middle of your lane or owning that lane, but then also getting to the left side of that lane when you've got a 2-lane road and oncoming traffic. How are you feeling?
Good. Obviously, because it's a new thing I'm doing, it does feel unnatural.
Yes,
a little bit.
It will feel like that. And the first couple of times you go riding, it's really hard to focus on what to look at because you might think, oh, I need to check what gear I'm in, but then I need to look up because I haven't seen the car in front of me and stuff like that. So it's really important just to, even if you need to look down for a second, just don't move your head and do it, just use your eyes and just be aware of your surroundings. It's like driving. There actually is a step 6. It's good for your posture. All right, I'll demonstrate it now. If you kind of have your butt, see where the hump is here? So just have your butt like that. A little more. Okay, bend your back a bit. There you go. And that's step 6.
So really just kind of putting on the show for the car behind you.
Exactly, yeah. Just get your fat ass up on the seat like that. And you'll find that if you're doing a long ride and you get off the bike, you're not going to have a sore back because you arch like this. No, it wasn't step 6.
No, I know you're bullshitting the entire time. So I've never seen you run like that.
No, you'll never see me ride like that. No, it hurts my back.